Hi, everybody. My name is Ross, and I'm one of the counselors at the SPSCC Counseling Service. And I'm here today with my colleague, Sally, another counselor at the Counseling Service, and Kaylee, who's a student representative from Active Minds. And we'll be telling you a little bit more about what Active Minds is and encouraging you to get involved. But to start, let's talk a little bit about the counseling service, because I think it's a really great resource that's available to you, and we want you to know about it and to consider the doors open for you to use it. So sometimes there's confusion about what we do. People think of us like an academic advisor that would help them choose classes and things like that. That's not our focus. We help students with mental health counseling. What does that mean? Well, usually students come in because they're struggling with their mood and energy level. They're feeling down and they're not sure why. Or sometimes students come in because they're feeling kind of keyed up and anxious, and they're not sure why, and they're not happy with it. Maybe even that anxiousness is interfering with their ability to perform in school, and so they're trying to heal from that or to recover from that. And the third major reason is they're having a relationship issue with a romantic partner or a family member or friend, and it's just very challenging, and they want to kind of talk that through and get some perspective on that. So those are some of the top three reasons folks come in. And Sally, you had some things to say about to help students know about kind of what to expect and when they come and see us, who we are.
Yeah. I think a couple of just really important things to remember about our services is that they're also absolutely free to you as a student. So free services. That all our services are confidential. So where our records and just the record, even of you coming to see either Ross or I for a service, is confidential. It's not part of your academic student records. Those are two separate things. And both Ross and I are licensed professionals in the state of Washington. So Ross is a licensed independent social worker, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor. And so it's a great benefit to you as students that you have us as a resource and the opportunity to speak with a professional counselor that's dedicated to you as a student and your experiences as a student. And so it's like choosing to see a mental health professional out in the community. You get that level and quality of service and care, but it's right here on campus and very specifically focused on serving students on campus. And also that sometimes students will wonder, I've heard students say, well, I don't know if my problem or what I'm struggling with is big enough to see a counselor or a mental health counselor. And my response to that is always, if you have the desire to talk to somebody, even if it's just to consult, to check in, like I've been feeling kind of sad, and I don't know if that means I'm depressed or if I'm just feeling sad, temporarily sad, then come and talk with us. If you have a desire to do a check in, please do that. And how you can connect with us is then something we were going to talk about next. And Ross, would you like to show how students can find us on the website?
Oh, sure. Share the screen and show that. Hold on one second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So this is probably familiar to you, the SPSCC main page. And finding us from the main page is just 2 clicks. It's pretty easy. So going up to advising and support, and then you can see on the right side there of the pop-up window, counseling services. Click there and you are on our webpage. So a couple things to point out on the page here. On the right-hand side, there are buttons, and if you click on these, you'll be brought into the Zoom meeting. So this is a button for Mindfulness Mondays, which is a great mindfulness-based group that Sally does every Monday, very popular with students. On Fridays, we have we're actually changing the name of this. We're calling it Circle Up support group. It's just for anybody who wants to is feeling stressed and wants to come and check in with peers and get some support. So clicking in on that, you'll come into that Zoom group. You come down further, you can come into our individual walk-in appointments. So clicking on the Tuesday walk-ins during the time here, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays, or if it's Wednesday, 1 to 4 p.m., click on the button at the appropriate time and whoop, you're going to be right into our Zoom waiting room, and we'll greet you and welcome you, and then you'll have about 20 minutes to chat with us in that walk-in time. Also wanted to point out, we have a bunch of videos about hot topics right now for students, particularly given the challenges of focusing from home. So check out our playlist here if you're interested. Choosing a counselor is really, I mean, it's such a personal thing. And so if you want to read more about Sally or I before you make a selection, feel free to click here to read more, and you'll learn a little bit about us and our approach and our background. And then down here, you'll see the logo for Active Minds. If you're interested in becoming involved with Active Minds, you can email me here by just clicking on my email and letting me know you're interested, and I'll connect you with the student leaders. But now it might be a good time actually to transition to Kaylee, and maybe Kaylee, let me stop sharing this so the students can see us a little bit better. And then maybe Kaylee, you could just share a little bit about, Active Minds, what it is, why you're involved with it.
Yeah, so sorry earlier, this is my cat.
Oh,
he got in the frame, so I wasn't meaning to laugh or anything. Yeah, so this is actually my first year at SPS. I transferred in a bunch of credits, so I'll be graduating, but when I was first looking at joining SPS, I felt like I wanted a group to be able to talk to, or I don't know, because at that time, I think COVID was really setting in and the quarantine, and I just wanted a group to be able to talk to. So I was looking through a list of clubs, and I found Active Minds, which is actually a group that has it's a local chapter at SPS, but it's actually a part of a larger national organization that focuses.
I think it might even be international. I think.
Oh, really? International?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's so it's this actually really big movement to help reduce the stigma around seeking help for mental health and issues you might be having that it's hard to communicate with friends about, because sometimes mental health, having a professional could be really good, but for people it could be really helpful to talk to professionals. And Active Minds particularly focuses on local things that we can do to help reduce the stigma around getting help, seeking help, and just being more comfortable with our emotions and a bunch of things. Our club is currently involved in making a video about how schizophrenia and depression were treated and viewed as throughout the years between 1920 and 2020. So we just do a bunch of creative projects like that really focus on seeing the development of mental health and how we've progressed and such things like that. I also think this is not really part of the club, but as you mentioned, being able to have resources that are free through online courses, and it can feel a bit isolating, I would say, from personal experience. Yeah, just like when you log in, there's just like blank screens and like you're all on your computer. But if you're really struggling, I would recommend definitely seeking help. It's hard to go through things alone, especially during quarantine and a bunch of stuff like that. So it's also, like Ross had said, it's good for your academics. Like, I know sometimes I can feel a bit anxious and it just like totally messes with my concentration, and it can make me feel like I'm falling behind. So it's good for school. It's also really good for relationships. Like if you're feeling like you need a new perspective on a friendship that might be falling out, or I don't know, like various things that you could need help with. And it's also just to have someone to talk to during quarantine, like just knowing that there are licensed professionals that can provide you some techniques and some perspective, and maybe even some coping mechanisms that could help you through your day-to-day, I think is a great thing that SPS has offered to us as students. And I think around the campus, like actually I can't speak to that because I was never on campus, but I think at SPS we have a great atmosphere around talking about mental health. So I think this is a great place to be if you need help, and just please don't hesitate to reach out. I think it's a really thing to be able to talk about these things openly.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much, Kaylee. Could not have said it better. It's terrific. Yeah, thank you.
Really great. And I did want to highlight, it was neat hearing your origin story for Active Minds, what brought you to Active Minds. And what a great thing, you can help raise awareness on campus while finding community, even in this time of COVID and social distancing. We're still meeting Active Minds every week. I think it's Thursday afternoons, at 3. If you're interested, email me and I'll connect you. A way to kind of do two things at once: promote your own mental health and community, and promote mental health of others on campus.
Yeah, absolutely.
The group of Active Minds is actually really friendly. We're consisting of about 6 to 7 people currently, but they're all really good people to talk to. We come together and the first thing we talk about is like the things that have gone on through our week, and it's just really nice to have a group of people that have similar interests.
Yeah,
it's so great.
That's great.
Really nice community.
Yeah,
it's
so
also
wonderful.
Just on a harder note, it's a great way to build your resume. Not harder in the sense of difficult, in the sense of nuts and bolts. If you're someone who's like, it'd be nice to have some extracurriculars to put on my resume and practice leadership. It's a great way to do that too.
Yeah, like a very practical. I'm hearing that as a very practical benefit. There's
practical would have been a better word, I think.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's not hard. Yeah, no, it's fun. But there's the heart and mind benefit and community benefit and the meaning of promoting, mental health, reducing the stigma. And then there's that practical side of, like demonstrating your involvement with the campus community beyond your classes too. Yeah. And Kaylee, thank you so much for being part of our opportunity to talk with students about our services today, because what I really appreciate too is you spoke so well about the student experience of maybe at times feeling isolated or just the pressure of academics, and that's a great reason to seek support from a counselor too, is just having that place to talk, to get a perspective and get some renewed energy. Yeah.
Well, great. I think this was great, and we hope you'll give us a try, even if you're a little nervous about coming in.
Mhm.
That's very common. And just encourage you, just like test driving a car. You give it a try and see how it feels. There's no harm in that. Doesn't cost anything. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And on a so just keep us in mind. If you could benefit from talking to a counselor, keep Active Minds in mind for getting involved with a great student club on campus. If you want to learn more about Active Minds, again, reach out to Ross and his email. You can also check the student calendar events page for upcoming events that Active Minds has going on. And if you want to reach out to either Ross or I, just email counseling@spscc .edu and we'll get back to you. And keep those walk-in hours in mind for just an informal, kind of start touching base to just get a chance to check us out. We also do appointments as well, but if you'd like to start with a walk-in, that's totally fine. Thanks so much, everybody. Hope to see you. Take care.